Welcome back. Time for another tutorial. This time we're going to go over the button value cycle, which is a new component that's part of the new UI system. I found it the other day whilst helping someone set up a multi-tool, and it's super useful, and I want to show it to you because it will replace a lot of LogiX in some case. I'll show you what it does, but essentially it cycles through a list of values on a button push event. And it's probably not the first one of these tutorials and these new UI components. They're super useful. I just need time to look at them all, but I wanted to start it off with the one that we have here. Let's hop over to Smooth POV and I'll share what's going on. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to set up a standard axis aligner setup. Yeah, you know me too well. Axis aligner comes up everywhere. So I will link to my axis aligner video in the video description just in case, but you're going to watch me do it here real quick. So we're going to go up to the box parent, attach component, transform drivers, axis aligner, auto add children, and duplicate some boxes. Cool. We're going to set a gap between the boxes as well. There we go. So now we've got the standard axis aligner set up, we're also going to go ahead and add a Boolean switcher to that. So I'll link that in the video description as well. We need to set up basically a setup where we can go toggle between a set of values, and the Boolean switcher combined with the axis aligner is the best way to do this. So you'll see here now that the Boolean switcher is activated, that it is toggling the state of the cubes. Unfortunately, it is also manipulating the axis aligner, so we're going to go ahead and reactivate everything here and do this a slightly different approach where we're going to remove the axis aligner after configuring it. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right, so now that that is all lined up, I'm going to disable the axis aligner because I want the cubes to still stay there, and when the cubes are deactivated, it's realigning them, which is a good job of the axis aligner, but it's not really what I want. There we go, that's better. So now we have cubes that are in a line, and when I change the number here, you'll see it goes along the chain, making various cubes available. Cool, so that's the Boolean switcher and axis aligner setup done. You can ignore all that setup if you're just interested in the new part, which is the component I'm going to go over, which is the button value cycle. So here's how that works. What we're going to do here is create a button. So go to create new object NeoCUI button. I'm going to flip that round here, and now we've got a nice button. I'm going to open the inspector on the button, and I'm going to go to the bottom here, and we're going to add that new component. So if you go to attach component, common UI, button interactions, button value cycle T. Like with all other T components, it requires a type name to be typed here, and there isn't a common list. Maybe Fruix will add one in the future, but right now, if you just type int, because that's what we're going to need to do, you'll see button value cycle int. With that added, we then need to set the target value to be the active index of the Boolean switcher. So I'm going over to the Boolean switcher here, and I'm setting the target value to be that. And then for values, we're going to add as many cubes as we have. So we have 6, we'll add 6. And then we just need to increment the number here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And now you'll see that when I push this button, without any LogiX or any other events, we are cycling through the values in this Boolean switcher, and it's turning those cubes on and off because of the way the Boolean switcher works. So if we look here and we watch the active index, you'll see it's currently on 0. I hit the button, it goes to 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then when I hit it again, it goes back to the beginning. And that's because the button value cycle will cycle through the available values in its list in a circular fashion. And that means when it goes round to 6, it'll go back round to 0 again. And this is amazing for many, many things. I'll have an upcoming tutorial on the tooltip multiplexer, which will also use this. But I just wanted to illustrate this to you because before this component, this exact same setup might have been sort of 5 or 6 LogiX nodes. You'd have to sort of increment a variable, check if it's not gone past a limit, but here it's all done for you. I also want to illustrate something else, which is the button value cycle can be used for basically any data type. So if I go ahead here and remove button value cycle int, and we go ahead and add another one, so we're going to go to common UI button interactions, button value cycle string. I'm not sure if string is capitalized or not. Oh, it looks like that's fine. So now it's button value type string. And what we're going to do is beneath this button, I'm going to go ahead and create a piece of text. I'm going to inspect that text, and I'm going to hook the text of the text renderer up to the target value here. And then I'm going to add some values. So we're going to add potato. Brooks is cool. So is Neos. And then how about 4 lights? Got to get some memes in here. And now when I click this button, you'll see that the piece of text here is again cycling through all the values that are in the button value cycle. So it can be used with any data type. If I reinspect this, you'll see that it's not actually also driving it. So you could drive it, or do other operations could change the value in the text renderer, but this will always maintain the set here. So you can see it's on potato. I'm going to just change this to I don't know. I'm struggling to think of something that isn't potato. Hamster. So I've changed it to hamster. I push the button again, and you'll see it starts through again. So it doesn't mind. It just looks in the list and sets everything on. There you go. That's a button value cycle for you. I hope that's useful. I am ecstatic about this component, and I'm ecstatic about using this component with the various aligners and other values like that. I'm also ecstatic to figure out what all the rest of these do. You can bet on it that there'll be a video for each of these when they appear, and these two, if I can figure out how they work, that is. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.